Hello, my mathematicians. Today we are looking at Module 16, Lesson 1, which is all about representing decimal multiplication. Hopefully by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to find the product of two decimals to the tenths place by using a decimal model. So it starts with Spark Your Learning. Mr. Chasm has a collection of 100 coins from around the world. Of the 100 coins, 7/10 are in the shape of a circle. Of these circular coins, 3/10 have holes. How many coins in his collection are in the shape of a circle and have holes? So we are going to start by representing 7/10. So what that means is I'm just going to highlight 7 of these rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then of those, 3/10 of them are or have a hole. So we're gonna just do 3/10 of that. So 1, 2, 3. So then we're going to just look at this. Oops. We're going to just look at this rectangle and how many there are. So there are 1, 2, 3 columns in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. So 7 times 3 are 21. So 21 coins are in the shape of a circle and have holes. So next, build understanding. Says Mrs. Varga has a collection of postage stamps. Of her stamps, 6/10 are from the United States. Of her stamps, 6/10 are from a country outside of the United States. Of these stamps, 8/10 are from the last 5 years. What decimal represents the part of her collection that's from the outside of the United States and from the last 5 years? So this is use the decimal model. What multiplication expression models the situation? Well, she had 8/10 times 6/10. So this is think about what each column of the decimal model represents. How can you use the model to show 6/10? Well, each column represents 1/10. So shade 6 columns. So this show 6/10 on your decimal model. How many squares are shaded? 6/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to go 6 across, 10 down, so that would be 60 squares. So how do you represent 8/10 of 6/10 in the decimal model? Well, shade the first 8 rows with another color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many squares are shaded to represent the 8 tenths by 6 tenths? Well, we have 6 this way, 8 this way, so that would be 48 squares. So, what part of Miss Vargas' collection is from outside of the United States and from the last 5 years? Well, we have 48 squares. That represents 48 hundredths of her collection. Hakeem also collects postage stamps. One of his stamps shows an older model telephone. What is the area of the stamp? What multiplication expression models the area? So, we have these two numbers here. So that it would be 9 tenths times 1 and 2 tenths. So how can I represent 1 and 2 tenths in the decimal model? Well, just like before, each column represents 1 tenth. So shade in 12 columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So how many squares are shaded? Well, we'd have 100 here plus 20, so 120 squares. So how do you represent 9 tenths of 1 and 2 tenths in the decimal model? Well, we would shade the first 9 rows. With another color. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in this case, we had 120. We didn't shade in the last 12. So the area of the stamp is going to be 1 and 800 square inches. And that is all for today's lesson. Hopefully you are now able to find the product of 2 decimals to the tenths place by using the decimal model. And remember, in order to be a math person, all you have to do is be a person and do math.